Welcome back to GomTV.net. I'm Tasteless, with me is Artosis. We already have one finalist, and now we're about to get another one.
That is right, Tasteless, and I am even more excited about this match than the match before.
Me too,
MVP, the all-time reigning champion of Terran, the all-time reigning champion of StarCraft 2 against Innovation, the best Terran currently.
Yeah, we have the veteran here, the Wings of Liberty, hands down best Wings of Liberty player of all time. Now against what looks like the newest best player in the world.
Yes.
So, I don't know.
Who wins this?
I think it's Innovation.
I think it's Innovation, but I won't be
MVP
overly
is
surprised.
so good at a best of 5 or best of 7.
That is true. And
you got to keep that in mind.
Best of 5, so there is definitely the chance that he is just going to outplan and end up winning. And the thing is, still has great mechanics, great decision making. I know Innovation is the best mechanical player with Flash, but MVP, I think, can keep up.
Look, MVP, I think the real secret to MVP's success has been his abilities to choose the right build every time. It's been incredible the times he opts to cheese, the times he'll do the same build over and over and over again. Innovation, we've seen this already. He started getting very good at build order planning.
Yeah.
But MVP, you cannot count this guy out. This could not be a cooler Final Four that we've had here.
Seriously.
There's such a great narrative, no matter who gets to the finals here. Mm-hmm. It's so cool. So one of these two guys is going to have to go up against SOS. We're going to see who that's going to be in just a little bit. But
one thing I do want to point out, Tasteless, is that MVP has all the final stage experience. Like, literally, other people are inexperienced because of how much MVP gets to the finals. And
experience pays off a lot.
And this is a big stage.
MVP's been traveling around the world winning tournaments. He's been winning more GSL Code S's than anybody else. So, he might just have that background to really dominate even a player as good as Innovation.
Yeah. Well, as we see here, subliminal messaging going on right now.
I saw it like a Fight Club flicker on the screen.
Yeah.
So, as you can see, if you're not familiar with these two players, I know we do have a lot of new viewers tuning in here. Greatest player for Wings of Liberty, currently against who everybody says is the best player in the world right now.
Yeah.
And I'm talking about pro gamers saying that, not just people on forums.
So we'll see how this goes. I have no idea if MVP actually does have what it takes to beat Innovation. I know he has what it takes, but will he deliver it here against such a mechanical genius as Innovation?
That's the real question is will he deliver it here? Either way, we're going to have a kick-ass finals. I cannot wait. What are your predictions, Artosis? I actually forgot to ask you.
You know what? I'm actually going to predict MVP 3-2.
MVP 3-2? No.
Yeah.
I'm actually thinking Innovation 3-1.
Oh, you might definitely be right. This is so hard to actually
what I absolutely
choose what'll
do
happen,
not expect is a 3-0 from MVP.
Well,
I can't imagine
that. But
yeah.
MVP, like, he's so smart and good under pressure, and this tournament probably doesn't actually mean as much to him. Innovation just lost an important tournament, and his nerves did get to him by the end of it.
He is hungry.
And when your nerves knock you out of a tournament, because when he played against Sulky that last game, he fell apart. Okay?
Yeah.
He was up 3-0 and then lost 4 in a row. That actually can wound you. That sometimes is hard to come back from. And he's so close right now that if he gets to that finals, he has to play TDP, which he's extremely good at as well.
Yeah.
But he's going up against someone that will never falter ever under any type of pressure.
This is true. So
you could put him into a machine that makes diamonds by crushing coal, and MVP would just sit there and be like...
He would MacGyver his way out of there?
He'd just sit there, and you'd take it out, he's like, he's a diamond man. Or something like that.
We call MVP the Game Genie Terran because it looks almost as if he's cheating every time he manages to win.
Yeah.
He can get away with everything.
And it's funny because he kind of got that nickname because he just always had so many units and it looked like cheat codes and stuff like that. But nowadays, Innovation actually has basically the best macro.
Well, Innovation, when you watch him play, it looks like some kind of supercomputer from the future is playing. Like, it just makes all the perfect decisions.
These young kids and their macro tasteless.
It's crazy.
Can MVP whip this snapper?
StarCraft, when it comes to terms like macro, that's the ability to mass produce units, expand and everything. And some of these guys, their macro is so good that they can make 5, 6 major mistakes in a game, but they're so good when it comes to the economics of StarCraft. They're so good with the production that they just end up running over their opponents.
Yeah, it's the most important thing in the game is that production, and that is why, that's really the basis of a super championship player, and that's the basis of MVP and innovation as well. But MVP, how are his wrists feeling? How good is he going to keep up on his macro? And can he just outplay innovation here? And I'm saying, you know what, actually, I think he can. I think that he can really put a lot of effort into this next set, and I think he can take it.
I got to agree with you on that one. So this is going to be really interesting. And what's so cool about it is they both play so differently. So we're going to see which one has the better play style suited to get to the finals here at the WCS.
Do you think MVP is going to focus on mech-based play?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so.
Wouldn't be surprised.
But, he mixes it up. He's very good at the bio play as well.
He does.
I do expect 1 to 2 cheeses from MVP.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I could see him cheesing.
He's, whenever we get to these matches down the wire, he's really good at executing that right cheese.
Yeah. Well, the countdown has begun, Tasis. We're going to jump into this game quite quickly here.
So get ready, guys. Also, please get out there and tweet. Tell your friends to tune in here at GomTV.net as Taste and Artosis are bringing you the best StarCraft 2 action you could possibly ask for. We got the game up and running, so we're going to go ahead and throw that up on screen and introduce our 2 players. In the bottom right, in the red, the greatest Wings of Liberty player. He is
LGIM MVP.
We're going to have a game pause here.
Yeah. Okay. Looks like there's actually a keyboard malfunction.
Okay.
Innovation didn't start his SCV, which means that probably just the keyboard isn't working.
That sucks.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure I'll get a new keyboard right away, and we'll get this
maybe just
game underway.
Unplug it, plug it back in. That's normally how you fix computers, I found.
Yeah, well, I would hope his keyboard didn't just break.
Yeah,
right?
Hopefully not.
Yeah, when he was typing go, and he just messed it up. Well, we'll see. Anyways, you might have to restart his computer, plug it, unplug it. We'll see. But once it's up and running, we probably will also be restarting the game here.
Yeah, I suspect that this will be a restart. I would not want to start with my first SCV behind.
Well, this is what's so funny is that the first few SCVs are so important because you have such few workers that if you don't make that first SCV, you end up being in a lot of trouble. And if we're finding out Innovation's monitor went off. Okay. So monitors also very important when playing StarCraft 2, just like the keyboard.
Yeah,
so.
You generally do want a monitor to see what's going on in the game. Of course, you can play without a monitor, but it's very difficult indeed.
It's very difficult to just use those game sounds.
I'm only in Gold League without a monitor.
Yeah, I hear you, man. It's like, when I try to play StarCraft with my feet, it's I want a challenge. So
it's difficult.
We're going to go ahead and restart the game. And we'll have that up and ready for you guys momentarily here. Mm-hmm. Again, if you're just now tuning in, we are Tasteless and Artosis. We've been based in Seoul, Korea for nearing 6 years now. And we bring you guys the best Code S action here at GomTV.net. Code S, the most competitive esports show of all time, the most successful esports show of all time as well. So you can always follow us there, too. And feel free to tweet at us who you think's actually going to win this. I'm Call Me Tasteless.
And I am Artosis.
Because I'm really wondering, actually, what everybody else is thinking about this. This is one of those dream matches.
It is, because MVP hasn't gone yet, right? He's still winning tournaments, he's still playing at a really high level, but he's left the main Korean scene, which is the GSL, right? He's joined WCS Europe, so he's focusing more on that scene. So this is like the matchup that could have happened in this season, but didn't because MVP's splitting off in a different direction from all the really strong up-and-coming Kespa players.
That's very true. So we're also going to see from this moment, is it going to be more of these new HOTS players, mostly the Kespa guys that most recently switched over, being the dominant force here in StarCraft 2? Or can somebody like MVP kind of lumber through the ages of StarCraft 2 through each expansion set? This is going to be a huge moment in StarCraft 2 history.
You wait. Legacy of the Void will be out in a couple of years, and MVP will just win that tournament too, and we'll be like, what is with you, man?
He's crazy good.
Yeah, you know what's going to happen? Oh, wait, no, I can't spoil that book for you. You still haven't read Ender's Game. You need to do that.
I know. I have not read Ender's Game. I'm still reading Game of Thrones right now.
I had the sickest thing to say about that MVP.
We're going to go in-game now and introduce our players again. Over here in the bottom left, the greatest Wings of Liberty player of all time. He is
LGIM MVP from Europe.
Qualified from Europe.
Yep.
He is Korean, I assure you.
Don't be fooled. In the bottom left, he almost won the last GSL Code S. Can he win this WCS? He is
STX Soul Innovation from Korea.
Seriously, whoever wins this, I don't even really care that much. It would be cool to see MVP win, but the finals is going to be so outstanding. I love.
Oh yeah.
It's been a while since we've seen really super duper high level PvT, especially in the finals of a tournament.
Yeah, I know that's a really good point.
We normally have Zerg versus something, and it's normally Zerg versus Terran.
And it's normally Zerg winning too. So
yes,
this is going to be a nice little turn of events here. Well, as we can see here, he's going to go ahead and just wall in, so we don't have any proxy play just yet.
Yeah, no shenanigans at the moment.
Also, no quick command center either.
Yeah, could be a command center coming up next, but we'll see if they grab any gas in just a few seconds here. Now, this map, Newkirk Precinct, has a lot of airspace in the middle, so drops definitely going to be quite important, and it's extremely easy to cut in half.
Yeah,
so
it's very easy.
This game will probably come to a head before then, though, because once it gets cut in half, how do you kill your opponent, Tasteless? If you both have siege tank lines there? Well,
yeah,
I guess
MVP's
you go into
done that with nukes and
BCs
stuff.
or something. Yeah, maybe nukes.
Then that's when we get a classic StarCraft 1 TVT where the map's getting carved up.
True that. All right, so both players getting gases, but the gas timings on here tell us that they want to go for a fast command center as well. The gases are going to be ready to get a factory after the command center, most likely.
All right, the SCB popping up here. He did not get inside the base, so he won't get any intel, really. And you got to wonder, MVP, this is one of these guys that has nothing left to prove or didn't for a while.
Yeah.
I mean, you basically be foolish to not say he's the best, most accomplished StarCraft 2 player ever. But this is an exciting new challenge for him. Can he keep his throne?
Yeah. Well, you know what? Even getting a top 4 here, I think he's already re-proven himself once again. He just won WCS Europe, which is a very difficult tournament as well.
Yeah.
Went through a lot of top-end players to win that. So he doesn't have anything to prove, Tasteless. And the thing is, not only does he have nothing to prove, and Innovation does have a lot to prove here, MVP has so much experience in these high-pressure situations, right? He's on a big stage right now, and he is just leaning back in his chair, relaxing, saying, okay, I'm going to play a best-of-5 versus a Terran. I've done this 100 times on stage.
You know, here's something interesting. Actually, wait, quick question. MVP is second biggest prize
Biggest
winner?
prize winner.
Biggest prize now. Okay, so he's past MC.
He's over. Wait, no. I'm 99% sure he's above MC right now.
Okay. But I thought he was still second.
MC might have a small edge on him. And then, of course, right behind them is like Nesty and stuff.
And this is in for prize winnings the 300,000 range. That's
he's over
crazy.
But I'm pretty sure he's number 1 on that now.
Yeah.
Don't worry, MC is going into the Europe Premier League. He'll be right back up there.
He'll be right back.
Battling MVP for that once again.
All right, we got the armory on the way here.
Hellbat drops for Innovation.
And we're going to have that starport put right over there as he wants to get that drop over there as quick as possible. Now, Hellbat drops, they're very tough to deal with.
Yeah, they are all the rage.
They are. Well, the thing about the Hellbat is it's such a beefy unit that it's, even if it's getting attacked by a multitude of other units, it's being healed. It can be microed in and out of the medevac. it's just very tough to take out, which makes it very difficult for your SCVs to survive those attacks. One thing it does not have on its side, though, is mobility. It's very slow.
Now, that's a pretty good scan right there. And, in fact, the scan's going to run out right before Widow Mines pop out. So, Innovation doesn't know 100% for sure exactly what's coming at him. He may think it's the exact same build, but this is actually going to be a Widow Mine drop into a Hellbat drop from MVP.
Yeah. Now, this gets a little hairy when you have two players that are both going to drop each other at the same time, because if the medevacs don't pass each other when they're en route, then you have a situation where both players can't defend the other guy's attack. And then the economy for both players is in shambles. All right, here we go.
And MVP going right in at the moment. Runs right into some Marines. Some good defense so far by Innovation. Keep those Hellions underneath. He wants to zap anything that comes out. And in the meantime, the Hellbats are going over towards his base. He has made a Viking, but these Hellbats still are going to get out easily.
All right, he's now going to send the Widow Mines down here. We'll see if he manages to get them out. The Hellbats have been dropped out now.
Uh-oh, this is still pretty dangerous. And in fact, MVP might end up losing this medevac. Ooh, very, very close there.
Wow, that was actually kind of surprising. They both had completely stellar defense.
Yeah, they both completely shut each other down.
Yeah, no kidding.
But MVP saved his medevac, whereas Innovation did not. So a little bit of a difference here.
Yeah. So, as you guys can see now, he's going to park that medevac over there later. Now, when there's an attack moving out, there's a high chance he's going to drop those Widow Mines. Probably 2 at the expansion, 2 in the main. Okay, we have another drop here. Well, the Hellbats coming out.
Here we go. That is a lot of fried SCVs and mules already. Not to mention the lost mining time. 4 workers have been killed. And you know what? Right now, his Vikings are way far away. And, oh, this could be brutal, but the Hellbats are there to stop him.
All right, the medevac now coming out here. Not a lot of damage being inflicted.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
You got
He's
8
just
so far.
barely not going to get those Hellbats through there.
This is a little bit crazy, and in fact, Innovation's starting to get more and more damage done. But we do have the Widow Mine drop coming up. Not the most kills, though. He's going to be able to clean that up relatively easily.
All right, we got another Hellbat drop, coming up here. Now, you know, the problem with the Vikings is that even though the range is superb, they are very slow units. So if they're not in a good position, it's really easy for the medevacs to get away.
That is right. A lot of Hellbats out on both sides. In fact, both players just really focusing on those Hellbats, trying to use Hellbats against Hellbat drops. Of course, I guess that does make sense as a way to counter the Hellbat. If it's that strong, why not just have Hellbats in your mineral line to stop it?
Looks like he's driving this barracks out over here. He does not want to let that burn down. Every building counts. And it's, what's that, 20 HP, 10. Is it going to get repaired in time?
It did die.
It did burn down. Yeah. Okay, here comes another drop now, but a lot of Hellbats here to respond.
And he's just dropping them. He doesn't care about his opponent's Hellbats, and nor should he. Innovation has taken a pretty good SCV lead. It's 47-36 right now.
Okay. Yeah, that's definitely a sufficient lead. So even though we're seeing these medevacs get killed off, we're seeing the Hellbats inside of them die out, they're serving their function, which is to reduce the number of workers.
But there's a lot more Hellbats out for MVP right now. So that may come into play at some point.
Yeah.
The thing is, Innovation is staying so active with the drops that MVP dares not leave home at the moment.
That's very true. All right. Innovation with a little bit of a different approach here. Things are going to have to calm down a little bit here on Innovation's attacks now. But there is going to be a very big and very scary counterattack. Oh, my God!
Oh, Innovation with a very smart move, and he takes that Viking lead, kills 2 and loses 1.
Yeah.
So that's a big deal. That's going to help him to shut down drops from MVP and stop medevacs from healing his Hellbats if he wants to use them on the ground.
Yeah, now he's not. It looks like MVP is going to try to get to a different position. Now, this is not good right now for Innovation. He's showing the Vikings. He thinks he can find those medevacs.
Yeah.
That's going to give them an ample opportunity to do this massive drop. Not this one here, but the one that's going to be inside the main here of Innovation's main. Meanwhile, Innovation's still doing some harassment over here on these workers.
More Vikings actually coming in the main, but he's going to be in trouble because of that. A lot of Hellbats about to be dropped into his base, and he's going to drop them right on top of those other Hellbats.
He's got medevacs here, so these it's going to make MVP's Hellbats considerably stronger. The Vikings are turning around, but quick they are not.
Yeah, he should be able to get out with his medevacs, I do believe, but it looks like Innovation cleaned this up pretty well. Just a couple Hellbats left. I really want to see MVP boost out of there with those medevacs. He does not want to lose those right now.
Yeah. No, losing the medevacs would be a huge blow here.
Well, MVP is fighting back here. He's killed some SCVs off. It's 43 SCVs to 54 right now, so it's still Innovation keeping that bit of a lead, and both players going into mech.
All right, this is going to be a really cool game. Mech, generally considered to be the strongest if done perfectly in TVT, but it's also the opener that if you make a mistake in between mid-game and late game, you basically lose. So it's a very unforgiving situation.
It certainly is. Right now the Vikings coming in just for some light harassment. They probably want to try to stop that turret so that these medevacs can get in, and this is going to be pretty scary.
All right, a huge drop coming in here and doing a lot of damage. Medevacs healing these Hellbats right now, but it looks like MVP might have just barely too much, and that's right, you just saw a Viking on the ground get picked up and go inside of a medevac.
You know, I would have actually really liked to see them just lift off because there were so medevacs there to actually end up shooting, but Innovation quickly reacting and getting his expensive units out, that's what truly matters.
Yeah, very true. So he's actually managed to get out of there. You know, both these guys taking heavy hits at each other, but both still staying strong. I believe the worker count is 50 to 66. Is that correct?
52-66 right this second. And Innovation does have that third base mining a little bit quicker as well, so definitely.
Medevac on the run right now. No.
All right. So
only
nice try,
only that little part of the medevac got there, that little piece of the ship.
And that wasn't going to do a lot of damage.
No.
Not that little piece.
That might have been part of the Hellbat that was inside of it. We don't know.
Well, you know, Innovation, he's just killed more SCVs so far this game, and he's keeping a step ahead. His SCV production has been nonstop. He has his third base up a little bit quicker, and now he has his fourth base up quite a bit quicker than what we're going to see from MVP. So this is getting pretty rough. You know, they're both going for the same strategy, but Innovation is just eking out edges everywhere.
Yeah. You know, MVP is definitely not doing a poor job in this game, but you know, you're totally right, Artosis. He's just slowly but surely getting a little bit more ahead with each of these moves.
Well, both players continuing huge Hellbat production, but a lot of Siege Shanks being added in as well. Definitely the Siege Shank, the king of the Terran units, especially for this matchup.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, and for those of you guys watching, the thing about the mech army is that out of all the armies in the game, this deals the most damage over a short period of time.
It has
because
by
of the
far
siege
the most
tanks.
range with the Siege Shanks.
Well,
too.
that's what I was getting at. With that long range, they actually get to deal the damage first, which means so much dies before it gets its turn to do damage. So MVP doing a very good job here. He secured the watchtower. This is actually very important on this map because siege tanks can shoot farther than they can see, so having the watchtower, I'm actually really surprised he's backing up now.
Well, you know what? There's a lot of medevacs there that when he scans, so I think that it might be a good choice this time. You know, if you get Hellbats dropped on your army, that's
very true.
I mean, that's an easy way to lose the game. You cannot lose these Siege Shanks. If either player loses all their Siege Shanks without killing all the other opponent's Siege Shanks, they're out. So he's got to be very careful with that and make sure he has enough units with him. And the thing is, he doesn't have much anti-air right now. MVP's anti-air consists of a Thor and a Marine. That's not going to stop medevacs from doing anything they want.
That's very true. And if you can't stop the medevacs from moving into your army, putting yourself in siege mode is quite dangerous because, you know, obviously, as you guys know, siege tanks can attack right in front of themselves in siege mode. So, another drop over here. This will not do any damage, really.
You know, at this point, MVP's best chance is to actually go split map, in my opinion. I don't think he's going to get an attack off that's going to kill Innovation. And Innovation has been mining everything quicker. And so when you go into split map scenarios, the player who actually in TVT mines out slower oftentimes has an edge.
Isn't that funny how that works?
Yeah.
Yeah, if you end up mining out slower and then the map's cut in half, then one guy dries up all his resources and has no more options. So
that's when great mechanics don't save you, Tasteless.
Yeah,
because you
that's very
actually
true.
mined out so quickly and played so well, but you never quite broke them. So, and now you're the broke one.
Yeah.
In a different way.
Wow.
Yes.
That was profound, Artosis.
Thanks. But notice, this is starting to get split up a little bit. A lot of sensor towers going up. They need to see each other coming ahead of time. You know, those medevacs move so quickly now. Very important thing indeed. And a lot of missile turrets starting to go up. So it looks like they both basically agree. And in fact, Innovation getting ready by switching into Sky Terran. He's getting the upgrades and adding a lot of starports.
All right. People scanning right now over here in the middle of the map. As you can see, Innovation trying to check and follow the movements here for MVP's army. And again, Innovation doing a good job with these drops.
Yeah.
It's actually 60 SCVs for MVP and 89 here for Innovation.
And
that's huge.
It definitely does make a difference, but again, that will make it mine out quicker.
Yep.
And the SCV damage doesn't matter as much anymore because they are both choosing split map scenarios. The one thing that does matter is that battle cruisers are already on the way for Innovation. He's already getting really good upgrades for his flying units, and that's going to help him break through the tank lines.
We see the tanks and the Hellbats moving up right now. And again, he's trying to find an opening. As Artosis pointed out earlier, this is the center of the map. I mean, it's a little wide, but it's not hard to completely cut off anything from coming out of your side of the map. All right, well, looks like he spotted that this other expansion is going to be taken. Innovation actually has every single expansion on his side of the map, by the way.
Yep. Now just some scout medevacs coming through and whatnot. You don't need these medevacs as much anymore. Just, I mean, what are they really going to do for you? They're taking up supply. Dealing Hellbats is no longer a priority. The priority is the flying units, a mixture of Ravens, Vikings, and battle cruisers.
Now, we see these SCVs being sent over here to their deaths. That's because he's trying to free up supply. This matchup's really interesting like that. Because Terran have mules, and because oftentimes it ends up with Sky Terran versus Sky Terran in the endgame, it absolutely lends itself that you don't need the SCVs as much in the late game if you can use that supply to get stronger units.
Well, here we go. Innovation showing his preparedness by attacking right in with the battlecruisers right away. This is how you break the tank lines. Your opponent needs to have Sky Terran as well, and he is going for it, producing mostly Vikings and Ravens right now.
All right, another drop. Now, some of this is actually to free up supply, similar to what we saw here with the SCVs being checked. The Hellbat's not as useful anymore. So he's going to go ahead and send them right in here.
He actually really doesn't even want them in back. Now the missile turret's starting to go to work on the battle cruisers. MVP did already get high-sec auto tracking, so his turret's going to be a little bit longer range, a little bit more annoying to deal with, and I really like that he got it so early.
All right, well, the contain for MVP has been wiped out, and if you notice supplies here, MVP not quite maxed out. He's almost there. But now, what Innovation can do is, set up this turret wall, siege up, and deny this middle expansion. And that could be checkmate if MVP doesn't have an answer fast.
The perfect move, Tasteless. And if he does get those turrets up, it's going to be almost impossible for him to break his opponent's Sky Terran because Innovation simply started it earlier. So the fortified position, holding off one of the bases of MVP, he will eventually be suffocated out.
Yeah, he's going to get choked out here. This is a really nice play. It's funny because we saw MVP had that contained, but yeah, Innovation did a better job about getting his Sky Terran army up and getting it up quicker. And by the way, you can see now Innovation sacking all of his medevacs, saying, I only want Vikings and battle cruisers with some siege tanks and turrets below.
MVP taking a lot of damage up here at his northern base as well. Innovation moving up to deal with these siege tanks quite quickly with his battlecruiser swarm. You know, MVP still has a chance, but Innovation is doing a perfect job of really utilizing the fact that he's ahead as far as the Sky Terran composition goes.
Yeah, very true. All right, he's sieging up now over here. And, okay, this is almost the point of no return right now for MVP. MVP now has two bases that were his before and are now gone. We got a big battle coming up in over here. Looks like we got Seeker missiles being sent out.
And it looks like we have some Yamato cannons as well. MVP just doesn't have the same amount of flying units.
Battle
not even
cruisers can
microing at this
tank
point.
right there in the front.
Yeah. He does break through this containment, but none of these units actually hit air, so the battle cruisers can easily come back and kill them all.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay, so now the supplies also tell it all. 133 to 185. No real operational expansions. No cash cow here for MVP. MVP trying to counterattack, but as you said, Artosis, Innovation can meet that with his own air army and wipe them out. I got to say, this was an incredible match we just saw, but Innovation is on another level so far.
Yeah, you know, MVP, though, we do have to give him some props for how he played this. He did get a little bit behind trying to defend against the Hellbat drops rather than drop them a little bit more. But what really happened was Innovation realizing, oh, this is going to go into Sky Terran. I actually can't kill MVP this game. And he just realized that a little bit quicker and got those starports up a little bit quicker and pushed the advantage immediately upon gaining it. This was a little bit closer than it seemed, I think.
Yeah, no, it certainly was. And I gotta say, both players are handling everything very well. Now, this is just the remainder of MVP's army. He's buying time from the battle cruisers and Vikings going and heading towards his base and killing him, but that's a band-aid solution at best. I mean, eventually, because of the center of the map being a little bit tight, it's not hard to intercept any more tanks that are trying to counterattack. He'll get over there. As you can see, he's already got his siege tanks over there now and begin to wipe out the remaining expansions.
Yeah, MVP is going to focus on winning the Viking battle. This is his last chance. And with the Thors out, there's a possibility, but it's not too likely. The Yamatos will go down on the Thors, point defense drones and seeker missiles will go out, and it's unlikely that his Viking force will come out on top. But if it does, then he has a chance to take this game forward.
Yeah, that's very true. All right. Hellbat. Okay, I don't know why I'm trying to play-by-play that Hellbat attack in the building. There's just not much else going on right
his
now.
head at that command center.
Yeah. Well, you know, I wonder what MVP is going to be doing going into this next game. We got this death ball coming in here. MVP is a smart guy. He knows what he's up against.
I'm not sure the next map, actually. I think that has a lot to do with it. On this map, this scenario is not uncommon at all.
No, this is actually very typical.
It's a very droppable map, and then you just go into mech, and then you realize you can't kill each other.
All right, the final battle is occurring.
Okay, this is death then.
And that's going to be it. We're going to have to go into game number 2 as MVP, simply put, cannot take on the force this game that is Innovation. GG.
All right.
Wow.
A good starter. MVP showing that actually he can keep up with Innovation for the most part. Innovation just got into the battle cruisers a little bit too quickly for him. So I'm still giving him a chance in this match.
You know, I am really impressed with how well MVP played in that game. Yeah. But Innovation, you know, he just looks so perfect. Yeah. Now remember, guys, if you're just now tuning in, this is a best of 5. So he certainly has a chance to come back and turn this around. It's just that you know, Innovation, he's living up to his reputation, Artosis.
He certainly is. Just perfect mechanical play. Edges ahead of MVP all game long and he sees everything coming ahead of time, right? He started those battle cruisers. He had 2 starports starting some Ravens immediately. He realized, oh, okay, you know what? This is the way it's going. Grab a couple of those, and then that just propelled him further. You know, he had the starports up before MVP, and there was no way for MVP to really catch up from there.
He also knew exactly when to sack the units that are not as useful in the late game. For instance, the medevacs. He doesn't need medevacs. He has Vikings and battle cruisers. He needs to keep reinforcing that. He doesn't need as many of those SCVs because at the end of the day, it's going to boil down to this one big Sky Terran army engaging each other.
Yeah, that's really what it does boil down to. You know, the mules not taking up any supply really does alter that late game. You do not want that many miners. And, of course, you don't want to mine out either because if MVP had stabilized in the center, that would have been crazy. You know, that could have gone a very long time.
It was also the fact that he managed, when he got MVP to back down, to siege up at that expansion, the one for MVP that's closest to the right. It's the one in the middle. And that means a lot less gas can be mined for that period of time, and that means a lot less Sky Terran as well.
Yeah. Well, our next map is going to be Aklon Waste. Definitely a good one for Mech once again. So I think that's going to be nice for MVP. I think he wants to continue to go Mech, but we may see Mech all day from both sides. It's a possibility.
It's very possible. Now, here's a question. Is anybody potentially going to cheese in this game? We've seen, actually, Innovation did a great, what was it, the Reaper cheese, rushing in there against Flash in Code S. And we've seen MVP cheese all the time. And I don't think have we ever casted a best of 5 with MVP where he didn't cheese one game?
I don't know. I don't think so, but
I don't think
it's
so. We've casted a lot of games, but we'll see. All right, we're in game now. Let's